Any joy that you find in this world, that joy is not inherent in the object, in the inert object of the world. The joy is infused by your mind. नहीं समझा, आप लोग नहीं समझते हैं लगता है. When you find your son very joyous in his presence, the same son after he grows up doesn't listen to you, so he becomes a matter of displeasure. Who finds your son joyous and pleasant? Our mind. Who finds him not so? Our mind. Our mind alone infuses joy into an object, makes it joyous, makes it joyous. Joy is an emotion. The emotion belongs to the mind. So any joy that you refer to in this world, can it inhere in any other place than in your own mind? क्या बोलिए ना. Let the intelligence get bombarded. कहाँ है संतुष्टि? किसकी परिभाषा है संतुष्टि? Is it a description of a particle or a wave or an object? Or is it a description of the emotion the mind produces? The mind is within you. So the joy, the creator of joy is our mind, our mind, our mind, our mind. Why don't you ask the mind to produce perennial joy, permanent joy, rather than seeking the company of the objects to give you joy? क्या है? कहाँ है joy? बोलिए ना कहाँ है? A very dear and near person who was very delightful to you, suddenly he dies. When you look at the same person's body, earlier also you were looking at the body, now also you are looking at the body, now it is miserable. Tell me who creates this misery? Who creates? Aja and Indumati were strolling in their garden, royal garden, very pleasantly. Suddenly Indumati fell dead. You can imagine the young Aja, how he was sorrowful. He went on lamenting. The sun was about to set. He was a great king. Who will go and console him or give him any suggestion? Nobody was there. Even the ministers cannot go. Maximum the wife or the queen could go, but the queen has gone. So who will replace her to tell him anything? Vasishtha came to know of the story. Then he did not go there. He sent a message. Maranam prakrtisharirinaam Vigridirjividamuchyate budhaihi kshanamapyavadhishtade shvasan yadi jantur nahila bhavanasau. Maranam prakrtisharirinaam. Suniye na अच्छी तरह. Maranam prakrtisharirinaam. To बोलो.
Maranam prakrtisharirinaam.
Maranam prakrtisharirinaam.
Maranam prakrtisharirinaam.
Vigridirjividamuchyate budhaihi.
Vikritirjivitamuchyate budhaihi.
Vikritihi jivitam uchyate budhaihi.
Uchyate budhaihi.
Kshanamapyavadhisthate shvasan yadi jantuhu nahi labhavanasau. He sends the message, Maranam prakritihi sharirinam. Death is a natural climax and outcome for all beings. All beings, in spite of whether they are educated, rich, poor or otherwise, the life forces depart from the body at the time of death. And if you allow the body there, anything can happen, ants will start crawling. A rich man, powerful man, minister and president, no. Ants will crawl. So natural and uniform outcome is what is death. Vikridihi jividamuchyate budhaihi. Wise people say that the life tenor is vigrida, unnatural. Always you ask two children born in two families at the same time. One is rich, another is poor. What is the source? What is the cause? So in life there is only disparity, only variance. It will never be satisfactory at all. Therefore, my dear Aja, kshanamapyavadishtate shwasan. If somebody continues to breathe for a little more, what kind of profit or benefit is there? The trouble is that you have not died. Indumati has fallen, she is saved, very good. Suppose you also fall, there will be no problem. So, if anybody were to live for a few more days, yadi jantuhu nahi labhavan asau, he is not going to be benefited by it. Because vigridi, unnaturality will only increase and naturality will be delayed and denied. This message worked on him. And then he said, okay, you take away the body, let it be cremated. Maranam prakrtisharirinaam vigridir jividamuchyate budhaihi kshanamapyavadishtate shwasan yadi jantuhu nahi labhavanasau. Do you like this? Huh? This is our culture. This is our glory. I will not like any one of you to mentally feel poverty. Economic poverty, I have nothing to say. It is all man created. But that inner poverty, no. I would like you to be abundantly rich and resourceful within you. Abundantly. Declare to the world, my dear world, I want nothing from you. I am self-full, self-great, self-affluent, self-sufficient. Insufficiency is a feeling of the mind. The mind can make you feel sufficient also. So the inner resources science tells you that the right resources are within you, held by the mind, held by the intelligence. Ultimately you have the infinite soul, far more infinite than the extensive world that you see all around. You are carrying such enormous resources within you, and do not at any time plead poverty, denial, smallness. No. Realize your inner grandeur, glory, splendor, that exaltedness. Sudhinam sutranam smriti nikhila vedanuvachasam paramhardam yuktam hyahilachidajid bhinnamapija abhinnam swabhavyad gunica paramam brahmagamidam samadhishtam yaistan api satadamide guruvaran bhagyodayena bahujanma samarjitena satsangameva labhate purusho yadavai ajnana hetukrita moha mahamdhakara nasham vidhayahi tatodayate vivekaha. Harihi Om, Harihi Om, Harihi. All of us together. Hari Om Tat Jaya Guru.
फर्स्ट श्लोका विल चैंट. मेरे पीछे पीछे दोहराइए. सर्ववेदांत सिद्धांत गोचरम तमगोचरम गोविंदम परमानन्दम् सद्गुरुं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम् वो कर्टन बंद कर देना.
This curtain also. We will go to verse number 54. In Hindi, what is the number?
वस्तु स्वरूपम स्फुट बोध चक्षुषा. हिंदी में कितना नंबर है? 56. इंग्लिश में 54 है, हिंदी में 56.
वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पंडितेन चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्. वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा
वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा
स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पंडितेन
स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पंडितेन
चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव
चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्.
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्.
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैः अवगम्यते किम्.
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैः अवगम्यते किम्.
See, Vivekachoodamani, as I told you, is the last composition Shankaracharya did. This is actually in the way of a conversation between a seeking disciple and an enlightened knower, the Sadguru. So we have come a long way, not very long way, quite some way. Now, the disciple is going before the teacher, the Sadguru, and he is making a submission. That submission is very important. It is one thing to hear spirituality in general, Vedanta in general. But if you want to get into the inner chambers of Vedanta and to try to pursue it in the form of a sadhana, a closer understanding, a closer study will be necessary. What is this closer study? You feel that I am a seeker, I have to get something clearly in my goal, as my goal in my life. So I want to pursue it, but I don't know how to pursue it. You know, people are so confused and sometimes very foolish also. They will say, Swamiji, is it necessary to have a teacher? Why are you doubtful? If you can make it, you make it and become a teacher yourself. Or if you cannot, what is the harm in taking the assistance or guidance of a teacher? This question itself is so meaningless. Is it necessary to have a teacher? If you can do it all by yourself, do it. The question is, do you have a goal and would you like to achieve it? In the matter of achieving it, any kind of a help that comes to you is always welcome. Why should it be a matter of doubt? Sometimes standing in front of the Sadguru, the disciples and seekers will ask, how to find a Guru? Standing in front of the sun, they are asking, where is the sun and what is the sun? People are so foolish. In front of God, you will go and then say, how to find God? Will you please tell me? This is... People are so foolish. Sometimes I am amazed by the behavior of people. So the question is, a teacher is indispensable for everything in life. I don't think we have learned walking all by ourselves, speaking all by ourselves, eating all by ourselves. Except seeing and hearing, for that there is no aid required. Our senses by themselves are given to their respective work. So I can touch something. The child need not be taught. But the child will have to be taught later if you want to understand the smoothness or roughness of a substance, the way he is to feel it. That he may have to be told. So anything where a kind of an art or a process or a regulation or a refinement is necessary, I don't think we have had it without any tuition whatsoever. I sometimes say that during Akbar's time I have heard he wanted to experiment whether a child will be able to talk if the mother doesn't talk to the child at all. So he arranged for a child to be breastfed by the mother, and the mother was debarred from speaking to the child at all, and nobody else also was there. 6 months, 7 months, 1 year passed, the child was never opening the mouth and speaking. So don't ask this question whether a teacher is necessary or not. He may not be necessary. Even then, if he is going to help and facilitate your search, why not you seek it? There is a medicine shop. Medicines are kept there. You are suffering from sickness. There is a medicine prescribed. Should I go to the medicine shop and buy it? Is it right? Is the medicine to be sold? Is it to be bought? So it is that kind of a mistake that people are doing. So this is presenting a disciple, and he is going to a teacher and submitting himself in the manner in which he wants. So this sloka is very important. Now I read the 53rd, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 verses before. Konama bandhaha kathamesha agataha katham pradishthasya katham vimokshaha kosavanatma paramah ka atma tayor vivekaha kathamedad. It is a very rampant question among the seekers that, Swamiji, what is this Jivatma? What is this Paramatma? Are there two? Are there three? Often people ask this question. Why don't they take it up? This question has been asked. So the submission the disciple makes before him is, Ko nama bandhaha. What is this bondage? Kathamesha agataha. The word bondage or bandhana is very, very common in the world of seeking. So what is this bondage? How has it come? Kathamesha agataha. Katham pradishthasya. Maybe bondage at some time entered us or crept into our mind. Why is it that it is constantly remaining there? Many of the things we understand and we are confronting, over a period of time, the whole thing vanishes. Because life is evolving, we are moving forward, we are nowhere at no point of time forever. So why this is pradishthasya? Why it is pradishtha? It is established as an inseparable trait in us. Katham vimoksha. How can we get freed from it? Kosavanatma. We generally say there is a distinction or discrimination between Atma and Anatma. So what is this Anatma? Atma, Anatma means something different from. When a word starts from Akara, to make the negative of it, you insert a Nakara there. Alpa, Analpa. Atma, Anatma. Otherwise, A is prefixed to imply the negation. Kosavanatma, Paramah. What is called the Supreme Soul? Tayor Vivekaha. What is the discrimination between the two? Katham etad uchyadam. Tell me all about it. This is the way a disciple goes and asks in front of a teacher. Why is Shankara putting it? So that as seekers you must understand these are the fundamental and basic questions and points of search for us to take up. So you orient yourself. We are reading a lot or you are reading a lot. A number of books are there. Quite a number of authors are there. The subject remains the same. People read and get nowhere at all. Reading becomes addictional for them. So, your inquiry should be very simple and very fast. I wanted to write a book on Jivan Mukti Viveka. I have written it, the skeleton of it, many, many years back. My point is, Swamiji, what part of our personality is bound? Wherever the bondage is there, if it is in the nose, it will be freed from the nose. Wherever the bondage is, there itself the freedom will be realized. Don't worry about where the bondage is. We will explain to you what is the bondage. We will also explain what is the freedom. In whichever part of your personality the bondage prevails, there it will be removed. If the mind is bound, the mind will be freed. If the intelligence is bound, it will be freed. If the ego is bound, that will be freed. So let us not debate about what is this, what is that, what is this, what is that. So when I was reading Vivekachoodamani, I used to turn the pages, go fast, and finally found out what is this liberated man, what is he or who is he and what is he like. So beautifully it is explained. So this is in the way of a conversation, a dialogue between the disciple and the teacher. Now the Guru starts answering. Dhanyosi kritakartyosi pavitam te kulam tvaya yad avidya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitumichyasi. You know, this one question, one search made by the disciple has made him so fortunate a human. See, a few people are there in this class here in the morning. You know how fortunate you are. And the people who are not coming, except for valid reasons, they are unfortunate. They are a misfortune in life. There is no doubt about it. Dhanyosi Shabda Brahmati Vartade Jijnasurabi Yogasya. Krishna says, a person who is wanting to inquire about yoga, that man goes beyond the ken of the Vedic worlds, he says. So this inquiry that sprouts in the heart, in the mind, or in the intelligence of a seeker, it is so valuable, so noble, so great, so lofty, so rewarding and fulfilling. Don't think that it's a simple exposure. It's a very, very valuable and rare exposure. Everywhere in our Shastras you will find an inquirer of truth or an inquirer of God. He is the most valuable specimen amongst the human beings. Yamadharmaraja complimented Nachiketas, saying that you are most fortunate. So many people have died and come to me. You have come to me livingly, and you are asking me whether there is death. In other words, you are questioning my very existence. Nobody has done this. You are very, very fortunate, he says. Shravanayapi bahubhiryo na lebhya shunvantopi bahavo yam na vidyuhu ascharyo jnata kusalanushishtaha ascharyo jnata kusalanushishtaha Shravanayapi bahubhiryo na lebhya. This kind of a discussion, supreme truth, supreme philosophy, the pure and essential Vedanta, nobody will speak about it. Then how will you listen to? One has to realize the truth, then only he should go and speaking about, if at all. So first of all, to pursue the subject with a personal directness, closeness and intimacy. And pursue it to the point of realizing oneself and reaching a level of perfection. With that, with one's own testimony, with authority, you must be able to speak eloquently, without any iota of doubt. That is very, very rare. If one person can speak, hundreds and thousands can hear. So it's very, very difficult to be able to hear this exposition, he says. Shunvantopi bahavo yam na vidyuhu. When one person really speaks and hundreds and thousands come and listen to him, everybody will appreciatingly listen to, wonderful, 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 bas wonderful. Nothing beyond it. They will not understand it because it requires an austere pursuit, wholesome pursuit. A lot of dedication, exclusiveness is necessary. You have to employ your mind and intelligence in this pursuit.